Good morning, culinary students. So, I am doing a short little video for you guys to show you just how easy the final experience project's going to be. So I just finished washing my hands, right? Because we always wash our hands before we cook. And I'm not wearing gloves because one, I'm cooking food for myself. And two, nothing that I'm using here is a ready to eat food, right? We only need to wear gloves when we're handling a ready to eat food. So my plan for my video is I'm going to be talking about mise en place, my tools and equipment, ready to eat foods, hand washing gloves, which I already spoke about, so that's done. Temperature danger zone, time control for safety foods, cross-contaminate, FIFO, caramelize, and dry heat frying. So I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna do it all with one hand. So already, one down. And these foods were not ready to eat foods, actually two down. Good, so let's go over my mise en place, right? Which means everything out, ready to go, okay? So we have some butter, I have my sausage, I have a little cheese, and I have some egg. So I'm just making myself some sausage and some cheese. Why is this blurry? All right, so that's mise en place. That's already 3 out of 10, okay? So the tools and equipment I'm using today. I'm using a gas stovetop. I have my 10-inch non-stick pan. I have my spatula, and I have a plate that I'm ready to serve the food on when it's done. Mise en place I missed, I'm sorry, was my seasoning, salt and pepper. So tools and equipment is done. All right, so my sausage, my cheese, my eggs, and my butter are TCS foods. That means those are time temperature control for safety, right? Those are foods that can only be out of the fridge for a certain amount of time before they become unsafe, right? Those are time and temperature controls, right? They have to be out of the temperature danger zone by being in the refrigerator. So we keep those foods in the refrigerator, right? Which keeps foods out of the temperature danger zone, which is 41 to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. So, enough of that, let's get going. So I'm gonna take my butter into a pan that is already warmed up and get that going so I can start to brown my sausage or caramelize my sausage, right? That helps bring out the flavor of things. And the browning is also called, in science terms, the Maillard reaction, right? That's turning the, caramelizing the sugars, browning the sugars, bringing out flavor. I'm sorry, not cross-contaminate, caramelize, good. Now we are going to put the sausage into the hot butter, right? And they're going to fry in the butter, right? Frying is actually a dry heat cooking method, right? Because there's no moisture involved. It is a dry heat cooking method. These sausages are already cooked, and I cooked them. I defrosted them in the microwave, so they just want to caramelize a little bit, and then we're going to crack some eggs. So what I like to do is when I'm doing eggs like this is I like to put a folded up paper towel down so I could crack my egg on that and then go right into the pan and put the shells back on it so I'm not getting any raw egg on my cutting board. I don't want to cross-contaminate anything. Cross-contamination is when a food gets a detrimental, a negative microorganism on it that can make you sick, but not from my eggs directly touching a different food, right? It's the eggs getting on the cutting board and getting on a food, right? That is cross-contamination. So even before I finished frying my eggs and making my meal, I have already spoken about my 10 things. So I spoke about my mise en place. I spoke about the tools and equipment. I spoke about ready to eat foods. I spoke about hand washing and gloves. I spoke about the temperature danger zone, temperature time control for safety foods, cross-contaminating, FIFO. Maybe I didn't do that. Caramelize and dry heat. So FIFO, I had 3 eggs left in my fridge. I took out from the old package of eggs, right? This is a new pack of eggs. I use the old ones first because FIFO stands for first in, first out. So we want to practice a FIFO method when we're rotating our inventory and our stock, so we don't, nothing goes bad. So let's even do some bonus stuff here. So salt, I'm using kosher salt and pepper, which is gonna be hard to do with one hand, which is a seasoning, right? I'm just putting a seasoning on my eggs of salt and pepper. Then we're just gonna add some of this cheese on top to melt a little bit. And that's it, guys. So I made sure that I spoke and I understood 10 of the concepts that were listed on the final experience paper that I'm sending out today. If you guys have any questions, please email me. This should be a fun project. You do not have to do anything expensive or fancy. I did it with frying an egg and some sausage. And you guys absolutely can do that. The most important thing is that you do the 5 required terms: mise en place, tools and equipment, ready to eat foods, hand washing, temperature danger zone, and then you pick 5 more from the list that go with your plan to make something. It could be, you could even film mom or dad or whoever cooks at your home. You can just ask them if you can film them. As you can see, I didn't put my face in the video, so if you're not comfortable with your face, you don't need to have your face in the video. And if you don't want to talk, as long as you're tech savvy, you can narrate it on the bottom with text. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a great time making your final experience.